According to the greatest medieval biblical commentator, Rabbi Solomon ben Isaac, also known as Rashi, conversion to another religion could not negate the Jewish standing of an individual. To acknowledge otherwise would grant merit to the transformative powers of another faith's initiation procedure, such as baptism. Despite Rabbi Isaac's view, most Jews today consider converting to another religion as annulling Jewish identity, at least on a practical level. According to Rabbi Sherwin of blessed memory, nothing Israel does collectively can abrogate the covenant for the whole group. To express it in another way, this relationship cannot legally end in divorce. Perhaps a better analogy is that God and Israel reflect the relationship of a father and a son. Regardless of the behavior of the son, the love of the father for the child remains. The covenant is not without its responsibilities, however. The people of Israel are expected to meet the obligations of the covenant, and there are penalties for disobedience. The term apostasy is derived from the Greek word apostasis, which can be translated as a political rebel. It was applied to a person in rebellion against God, the Torah, and the faith of Israel. Apostate Jews abandoned Jewish observance or had joined another religion. In rabbinic literature, the terms mumar, literally the one that is changed, and poshea Yisrael, literally transgressor of Israel, or simply kofar, literally denier, were also used to designate apostates. The rise of Christianity and Islam and conversions to either religion drastically changed the concept of apostasy. The reason for this change, Jacob Katz argues, was that since the apostate was completely removing themselves from Judaism and the Jewish community, the notion of a partial apostasy had to be abandoned. From the perspectives of the masses, the apostate ceased entirely to be a Jew. Part of this change in attitude may have been the sharp differences in the medieval period with the Greco-Roman period. The Greeks and Romans maintained a broad pantheon of deities. Participation in Greek or Roman cults did not automatically require the abandonment of an individual's primary religious affiliation. Conversion to Islam or Christianity in the medieval period did, and the lines between communities were well drawn. In the 16th century, Rabbi Judah Loew of Prague believed that it was impossible for an individual to change their fundamental essence. It was inconceivable for someone to abandon, willingly or unwillingly, his or her defining nature and become a member of another religion or another people. They might sin and be punished accordingly, but they could not stop being what they were. This concept allowed those who converted, whether by compulsion or of their own volition, to rejoin the Jewish community. This view may pose problems for contemporary Jewish communities on how they interact with Jewish converts to other religions. However, the continued Jewish status of the children of these individuals presents an opportunity for rapprochement in the future. This is particularly important in the United States, where religious change has become quite common. The impact on the question of conversos, those Spanish and Portuguese Jews that were forced to convert and effectively lived dual lives at times, both Jewish and Christian, and Jewish identity is astounding. As Rabbi Byron Sherwin summarizes, for Rabbi Loew, as for many 16th century Jewish scholars, the problem of Jews who had converted to Catholicism at the end of the 15th century in Spain, wanting to return to Judaism after having left Spain, appears to have been a constant issue. Rabbi Judah Loew refuses to close the door back into Judaism for those wishing to re-enter. For Rabbi Loew, the Jew can never cease being a Jew. The apostate need not be readmitted. And the essence of this is because, according to Rabbi Loew, the Jew really never left.